What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Media Goose channel. I am the Media Goose, your friend Ryan, and the goose is loose. I am here today to talk to you about Friday Night Smackdown. This is the first Smackdown after the Royal Rumble, and to put it lightly, it was not as good as Monday Night Raw was. So I'm going to talk about the episode. I'm going to try to do this a little quicker than my Raw review as well. That one went like over 20 minutes. I'm going to try to cut these down in length. Before I get into the episode, do me a favor. Hit like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share this content, help me reach a larger audience. Alright, so SmackDown opened with Drew McIntyre's music hitting. He starts making his way down to the ring, and he gets attacked by Cody Raheem Rhodes. This was an unhinged promo from Cody, man. I was not expecting this. I don't even know if it's PG. So Cody talks about the segment on Raw between Punk and Reigns and talks about how it's a you-know-what measuring contest and that they're lucky he's not involved because he didn't get the nickname Raheem for nothing. That's Cody Rhodes telling the WWE Universe that he is well endowed. Not information I thought I'd be leaving SmackDown with, but here we are. Regardless of that, the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby, looking down at Cody smiling. But other than that little comedy to start it, it was a pretty good promo. I like Cody when he's like the fiery, intense Cody. I didn't like Cody when we were just getting him coming out in a suit every week. What do you want to talk about? It was all very politician, and I don't like that side of Cody, so I prefer this intense Cody. I think this was a good promo. He's keeping his eye on the prize. Him and Drew have been going a little long with this feud, but it's not really losing quality, so I won't complain, I guess, but there have been multiple times throughout this feud where I thought they ended the feud, and they haven't. How do you break out 3 stages of hell and it doesn't blow off the feud? I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see because we saw that next week. Cody and Jacob are in the same Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Sammy, and that kind of makes me think they're going to cancel each other out in some way, or Drew is going to get involved, and Sammy is going to win. I'll get to Sammy later in the night. But I don't know. We'll see. If that's the case and neither Cody nor Jacob are in the chamber, I think at the chamber we could get the Elimination Chamber match I've been assuming would happen at Mania of Drew, Cody, and Jacob. And if that's the case, I don't know what the plan would be for Mania. It would depend on who came out of that with the title. And so this was a good way to start SmackDown, I thought. So then we had a backstage segment between Kathy Kelly with Julia and Kiana. I can't say either is doing poorly with each other, but I just don't see any lines of continuity between them in terms of like why they would be together. So I don't know. It's a weird duo. But I think this was a good pair to get a match against Rhea and Io at this point, because they can lose this match because they're not even really a tag team. It's really a wrestler and a manager. Although Kiana can wrestle. I don't want to sound like I'm dumping on Kiana. She's done well in the opportunities she's been given. So We get that tag team title match, Rhea and Io versus Julia and Kiana. And man, Io and Rhea feel like rock stars when they come out every time. This is honestly kind of reminiscent of like the two-man power trip of Austin and Triple H back in the day. It's an OP, just completely overpowered tag team. And like Io gets a huge pop, and then Rhea gets a even bigger pop. I think this was a fine, pretty solid match that was enhanced by how into Rhea and Io the crowd are. So, solid SmackDown match, and the champions retain to no surprise. Rhea and Io, they could have these titles for a while if that's what they want to do, and I kind of think they should because I really like Rhea and Io being away from the main title picture because I think the next time they wrestle should be next WrestleMania for the title. Now, I said that, but I also want Rhea and Bianca, so I don't know. But I think there's still a lot more mileage to get out of Rio. Then after that, we had Miz, Mello, and Ilya backstage. That's the U.S. title scene right now. Kind of weird. I don't get why Miz got a match made by Aldis, but then Mello can just, without consulting anybody, say, no, this isn't a title match. And Ilya, it's weird. You have a general manager in place, and then a baby face is just like changing. I don't know. It was kind of weird to me. But then we get a non-title Mello and Miz match, and this match kind of made me chuckle because I thought, you know, the catchphrase, I think it was coined because of Shawn Michaels, or he was at least the person I heard it with. He could get a 5-star match out of a broom. Well, say that for The Miz, but he could get a 3-star match out of a broom. That dude is the king of the 3-star TV match. It was fine. It was good. It hit. It's the worst match Mello has had in a while because Mello was putting on bangers week after week after week. He's been a real workhorse, and I've loved that. And even this being a down match quality-wise, it wasn't even a bad match. Any match with The Miz in it is going to get its heat. So it was a good TV match. Mello gets the victory. I'm assuming we're probably heading to Miz, Mello, and Ilya. So we'll see. Then, and I just wanted to say too, it looks like he's starting to use the first 48, that Codebreaker variant move, as a finisher, which is smart, because you should not be doing a leg drop from the top rope as your finisher for long. You're going to destroy your lower back and spine, so smart. Then, Tiffany backstage. Again, she is so miscast as a babyface. There's nothing interesting about her. And I don't know, it wasn't good. And then this match, Tiffany versus Lash versus Chelsea, I'm a really positive person. I want to bring positive perspectives on things. This was a crap match, in my opinion. A lot of the offense just wasn't hitting. Like, I wish... So this created a thesis in my head watching this, particularly with Lash and Tiffany. The WWE Performance Center, I don't like what it's producing, and in particular with Lash and Tiffany, and I don't know, it's watching a match like Tama Tonga and Shinsuke later in the night, or even the main event with Randy Solo and Alistair, everything hits. Every move feels like it hits. Half the moves in this match had nothing to them, or they were botched. I think they're trying to make Tiffany out to be this Charlotte Flair level wrestler and athlete, and she's not good enough to be that wrestler. You had her try to do the, pop-up drop kick. I don't think she can do that. I think they have her totally miscast in terms of the character they want her to be and the wrestler. Watching Tiffany and Lash, even though it kind of sucked, if you flipped them in a few years where Tiffany was the heel and Lash is the babyface, that could be a good match. But ultimately, I thought it was a pretty sloppy, inconsequential match that Tiffany won, and that kind of sucks because Chelsea and Lash, I would have given either of them that opportunity over Tiffany. Tiffany is like so overpushed, in my opinion. So then we end up with what's next? Kit Wilson. He does an in-ring promo, tells everybody they're toxic. He's done really great character work. I would love to see him end up with like a mid-card title reign at some point. But then, unfortunately, he did get fed to Obafemi, which, good. Sorry, I just banged my desk. I was very animated. Good. Feed everybody and their mother to Obafemi. Feed me to Obafemi. I don't care. Feed the whole performance center to Obafemi if you have to. And also, he's crazy over already. Him and Trick both were instantly, like, over when they got up. And the thing I was saying earlier about, like, offense not hitting for people that come from the Performance Center, that ain't the case for Trick, Oba, and Javon. Those guys, they work like main eventers already, in my opinion. So then we get a backstage segment with Priest and Truth. And Drew, like, comes through. And I hated this because, like, Truth calls him out. And they've done this backstage a lot where Priest, like, tries to machismo his way in. And he's like, hey, Drew, you know you don't... It's just crap. Like, he's, like, this tough guy. And Tiffany and Damian Priest are probably the two wrestlers I enjoy the least on regular programming. Then Drew comes out after that backstage segment, and now he gets attacked by Jacob. As soon as he entered, I was like, because they mentioned as soon as he walked out how Cody attacked, I was like, oh, Jacob's about to attack. So that was good. I feel like Jacob destroys security guards, like, at a rate that is unbelievable, where, like, most guys, they make a storyline out of it where they get suspended and fined. Jacob's ragdolling dudes every other week. Then we had that Tama Tonga Shinsuke match. This was a good SmackDown match. This was a good weekly match. It didn't ascend to, like, the Shinsuke AJ match or anything like that, but I enjoyed this. They know, these guys have worked Japan. They know how to make stuff look good. And it's weird, man, because Tama Tonga, that first few weeks he was here, and then this, they make him feel like a star. They give him the full presentation. So I would love to see Solo go babyface and leave the MFTs and maybe do like a like faction of New Japan guys. Evil and I think Takahashi are rumored to be coming to WWE. So maybe taking like Tama, Tala, and Tonga and putting them... I don't know. I just don't feel like that group of the MFTs works. And I think Solo's going to be better off as a babyface, honestly. So the MFTs help Tama win. Makes sense. Backstage segment with Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns. That's going in Raw, Steven Larson. That's like a thing they do where anytime they say Motor City Machine Guns, they point to their hand because that's what they would do. Motor City Machine Guns. And it was like sad Johnny he was like laying face down on a road case that said NXT. So I'm guessing we're gonna have Johnny back in NXT. Liv Raquel in ring segment was pretty generic. Jade comes out, does the whole I'm that bitch thing. Jordan comes out. Can they coexist? One of the most overdone tropes in wrestling, that tag team. It was whatever. It was like the worst match in the night. Well, not worse than the other match, but then we get a sad Sammy backstage promo where Sammy's just like standing there depressed while Trick and Ray Phoenix have a back and forth, and I hope this means we get a Sammy heel turn. Then we get Drew finally coming out and getting to cut a promo, and he does a great job calling out Punk and Roman for the way they, like, threw him under the bus, but also, like, gave him credit on Monday. It was kind of weird. Drew cuts a great promo. Bottom line, I love that he's WWE champion, and I hope he gets a real run with it. Then him and Trick have a little stare down as they're coming down the ramp. I like the way they are teasing a lot of things for the new guys coming up. I think that's smart, and it shows you there are plans, which is nice. Then the main event, the Elimination Chamber qualifier, Randy versus Solo versus Alistair. This was a good main event match. Like I said, all of these guys know how to sell and know how to wrestle on the main roster. And I just think a lot of these younger performers, they don't have the reps. They don't have the house show circuit. And I think you can see that in the quality. And when you look at WWE shows having Performance Center wrestlers have their matches and have matches like that, you have AEW putting on like insane matches on television almost weekly. That's not my flavor of wrestling. I don't like when wrestling is all that speed, but I also don't like this, where it feels like performers who don't have enough reps yet. So I think whether it's more house shows, whether it's more actual in-ring work and like studying a film of veterans, I think they should start working on people when they come up from NXT on selling, on knowing how to make your offense looks like it's hitting, because there were so many moves in that Chelsea Tiffy Lash match that just had nothing on them and looked cartoonishly bad. So this was a average to like below average episode of Smackdown. I thought we didn't even get the normal mellow US title like 4-star match. So this was like everything was fine, but definitely wasn't as good as Raw this week, but that's what it is. So we're on the road to WrestleMania. Let's hope next week gets a little better, things get a little more clear, and we see what they're going to plan going into Elimination Chamber. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the show. Let me know what you thought of my opinions I shared, if that match was as bad as I thought, if Cody telling you how well endowed he is was necessary. So, thank you guys for watching the video today. The Goose is out.